What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 41 of our Sochaux Montbéliard Let's Play here in Football Manager 2018. Hopefully you guys are good. Today, it's the last match of the season. It's going to be the French Cup final. An interesting game, this one, as we are going to be taking on QRM. They are a third-tier side here in France who finished mid-table in their division. I'm really hoping we don't bottle it, but they have knocked out some big teams in this competition, and with Yaya Sanogo leading the line for them, I don't think they're going to be as easy as, well, I might be expecting. Since you were last here, you can see we have played two games. Of course, last time out we took on Monaco. It was a disappointing 2-0 defeat. With that, it meant that we could only finish as high as third, and we guaranteed that third place finish with a game against Saint Etienne, a team who have been struggling throughout the season. And, in the end, we beat them 4-0. It was a convincing little performance. Trincao opened up the goal scoring, and, well, from there, we just looked very, very dominant in this game. It was a very controlling kind of performance as a whole. The real standout player in this game was Blonde, to be honest, at centre mid. He really pulled the strings for us in the Mazzala role. But Saint Etienne showing perhaps the defensive frailties that have led to them slipping down the league this year. As I mentioned, Trincao and Diarra opened up the goal scoring in the second half, and Bula and Millet both got goals of their own. Of course, Millet coming on off the bench. Nice little cross to him by Almeida. And yeah, generally speaking, it was just a really good performance against Etienne. Very reminiscent in some ways of the Lyon result that we had not that long ago. Anyway, the final game of the season in terms of league games was against Nice. We didn't have a lot to play for, but I wanted to play our best 11. I wanted to go out with a bang, and well, we went out with a bang. We won this game 5-1. Nice were actually looking to, with this result, try and get a top 4 finish and leapfrog Marseille. With the game against Saint Etienne, we won. Marseille lost 3-0 actually against Auxerre, and so it left us in a situation where we were guaranteed third, but at the same time, I wanted to play our best team. I wanted to put our best foot forward. And that's what we did here. 5-1 is how it finished. 5 different goal scorers. All of the goals for us coming in the first 55 minutes of the game. It was a very dominant display. We took our foot off the pedal a little bit as the game progressed. And, well, Kubik got a goal as well, which was great to see. And to be honest, it was kind of reminiscent of a lot of performances we've had this year, this 5-1. It feels like this season there's been a few games where we're just kind of too hot to handle. Teams cannot contain our offensive kind of capabilities, and with our fluid attack, with our kind of plethora of talent in the attacking third, we kind of just show our dominance and make it count, and that was exactly what happened here against Nice. So that was a great little result to end the season. Of course, we'll talk more about the season as a whole during the end of season live com. Of course, today's game is against QRM, who, I mean, we have to be wary of. They play in the National division. They are in the third league, and, well, if they win this, I think they will actually get a Europa League spot, which is a little bit terrifying for us. I mean, no pressure for us to try and not lose this. You can see Sanogo is their key player. Obviously, familiar face, Arsenal fans will know about him. He is a very good player for their division. Obviously not a great player as far as comparing him to our players. This last season, you can see they actually got promoted from the 4th tier into the national division. They have a good little side, but you can see they finished 10th. But I really can't afford to underestimate them. Whilst we have knocked out a few teams in their division in the French Cup, you can see the teams that they've beaten. They beat PSG 1-0. They beat Auxerre on penalties. They beat Lyon on penalties. They beat Lens on penalties. I shouldn't be scared of them, but I am. And that's a little bit concerning, I guess. Anyway, in terms of general team news going into today's game, a little bit of, I guess, injury problems. Francisco Trincao is out injured, unfortunately, with a torn hamstring, a long-term injury that, well, is going to see him miss the majority of the summer break as well, and any kind of pre-season that we have. Ducasse is also carrying a little bit of an injury, so can't start today. But besides that, the team is looking very, very good indeed. A good little bit of news. Almeida is looking like he's going to be on the verge of signing a new contract with us. The Argentine playmaker, of course, a player we brought in as a replacement for Ricky Martin this season. He had a fantastic year, all in all. You know, 6 goals, 9 assists, a 7.34 average rating in the end. And, well, despite the fact he's wanted by PSG, he's currently considering a new contract offer from us, which is great to see. Obviously, we want to tie down our best players, and Almeida is definitely one of those. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on there. Besides that, not a whole lot happened since you were last here. Of course, with that Monaco result, we kind of knew our fate. Just so you can see how the Ligue 1 table finished. We can see here, PSG won the league very convincingly this year. In the end, we actually finished only 3 points behind Monaco, so we closed the gap on them nicely to end the season, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. Elsewhere, you can see Marseille picked up 4th, so they'll go into the Champions League group stage with us. Despite getting hammered by us, Nice held on to 5th ahead of Bordeaux. Both of those clubs will be competing in Europe. Lyon are going to be watching this game, hoping that we get a win, because if we win this French Cup, I believe that they get the Europa League spot that the winner would normally take. At the bottom of the table, you can see Gungam and Lens, the two teams going down immediately. And Cannes are actually taking on Montpellier in the playoffs in the league below us. You can see, looking at that league below us, if we just have a quick look, Troyes and Rouen, the two teams coming up. So going to be interesting to see how they readapt to the league. Two teams who, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, you can see here, teams who have been in the top flight in recent years and struggled to adapt. So both of them going to be really looking to, well, have a better go of it next season, I guess. Anyway, you can also see here Ibrahim, one of our loanees, actually at Rouen, is the top goal scorer in League 2, which is great to see, a player who we talked a little bit about in our kind of end of season review. Also worth noting, you can see here Gary Cahill playing in the French second tier. A little bit of a fall from grace for the Englishman, but well, he's trying to make it work at Rennes. Unfortunately, I believe that they kind of didn't, well, go through in the playoffs. So unfortunately, he's going to be stuck there for another year, unless someone else comes in and picks him up. But anyway, let's get into today's cup final. It is a big game for us. In terms of the team, I'm not holding back any punches. We are going out here with what I consider probably to be our strongest team to end the season. The exception perhaps being Ducasse and Trincao, who are both out injured, but we are going to go with Lafont in goal. The back four, we are going to go with Chilwell at left back. I feel like over the course of the season, he has kind of earned his spot as first choice left back. In the centre back positions, we're going to go with Felix. Alongside him, we are of course going to go with Diarra. At right back, we're going to go with Gaultier ahead of Pinto, although Pinto will be on the bench for us. In the centre mid positions, we've got Blonde and Chevalier. Right attacking mid, we've got Mbula. Centre attacking mid, we've got Almada. Kubik going to be playing out on the left wing. Not his preferred role, but he's capable of playing there. Up top, it's going to be Millet. On the bench, I've realised again that we don't have a centre back, so unfortunately Pendant's going to make way. But we've got Alex Pinto, who's improved quite a lot over this season, the right back. We've got Ali, of course, the Romanian centre back option. Fuchs, Almeida, Harry Wilson, Ducasse, and Dougie Pote. Of course, Pote looking like he might leave us at the end of the season. I talked a little bit about that last live com. A little bit of interest in him. I have offered him out to clubs for £4 million. Yeah, watch the space there. So anyway, let's submit this team. Hopefully Dougie Pote can come on off the bench. He was one of our first signings when we first came to the club, so it's going to be sad to see him go over the summer. That transfer seems fairly likely to happen sooner rather than later. And well, let's see how we get on today. We are, of course, playing against QRM. It's the French Cup final, a massive game for us. Looks like we are in a neutral venue for this game. And well, we'll be hoping just to have a really convincing performance. That's the dream kind of result here, you know, that we win this game comfortably, we dominate possession. But QRM, of course, teams problems. Part of me is terrified that if we lose to them, then, well, it's all gone wrong. You can see they're having quite a lot of the ball against us as well. I mean, fair play to them, but we do have a set piece here. Blonde whips it in. Diarra's there. Bobbles around in the box. Almada finishes it. Of course, we do want to win this. This would be our first bit of silverware besides the League 2 title. And, well, silverware is ultimately what we're here for. And we've taken an early lead here. QRM, they had a little bit more of the ball in the opening. We've created more chances as this has gone on. Little bit of fortune about that, the way it fell to Almada. Blonde got the assist. But we take an early lead in this game, and hopefully we can score again. I mean, we've got a chance here. Kubik, free header off the woodwork. I mean, very unfortunate there. Blonde almost with another assist to his name. We're looking very good in this game, though, in the opening. Of course, I want to be quite ruthless here. I want us to try and score as many as we can early on, because this team, they've shown that they can be tough to beat, and well, Mbula finds the back of the net. I'm hoping that this is just going to be kind of, you know, it's cruising from here. I don't want it to turn into one of these squeaky bum time finals where it feels like we're about to bottle it against a little side. Of course, an element of fortune, I guess, about the fact that our draws have been fairly kind in this competition, but you can only beat who you're drawn against. And while we look like we're going to win here, as well, everything's coming from set pieces at the moment. Chevalier hits it from range. Oh my gosh. It was an ambitious effort. Apparently it deserved to be a goal according to the commentator. The keeper, though, was more than up to the task. Another set piece whipped in here. Sonogo heads it clear. He's not going to have another shot. Surely not. Chevalier to Almada. Options out wide if he wants it. Millet's there. Can he pull the ball back? No, he's gonna run into the corner and get dispossessed. Questionable decision making there by Millet, I think it's fair to say. But wow, another set piece. Ball whipped in, headed clear as far as Millet. Nods it down to Blonde, who hits it, ricocheting around in the box. I mean, we are having so many chances from set pieces here. We've been a team we've always felt, well, it's felt like we've always struggled to defend set pieces, but today against QRM, we are causing them some real headaches at this moment in time, although they are bringing the ball forward here. Nice win, though, by Blonde. Can we build from the back, or is this a pointless highlight? Answers on a postcard. Let me know. Mbula, I mean, he's all on his lonesome, but he doesn't need anyone. He crosses it in. What a run that was. It deserved a better run into the box, to be honest. Chevalier, though, mopping up the pieces. Can he put the pieces back together? He's going to try and find maybe a cross on this right-hand side. Great run, great ball in. Almada nods it down to Kubik. 3-0 here. This is, well, a little bit disappointing. I wanted a good game to end the season in terms of I wanted a competitive game against QRM. But it looks like we're not going to leave it to chance. Having seen numerous other teams fall at the knees of QRM, we've just stifled them out. And it's something that I've talked about earlier on this season. I do feel like our style of play, the way we like to control the ball, the way we like to kind of knock the ball around, it really suits us against teams who aren't as good as us, be that technically or physically. You know, if teams aren't as good physically, they're going to be chasing the ball around a lot, tiring themselves out. On the flip side, if they're not good enough technically, they're just going to struggle to hold on to the ball and make the most of the ball that they have. And it feels like with kind of some of the players that we've just got such a great work rate in the team, but also a great kind of technical giftedness across the park, that in this kind of game, it just suits us down to a T. But that said, I mean, we can't get too carried away here. Diarra on a booking. I mean, don't get sent off, whatever you do. In fact, we've got a few players on booking, so as much as it's 3-0 up, if we could avoid getting any sendings off, that would be good, basically. If we go down to 10 men, I will feel like there's still a job to be done here. Well, Mile going to try and get the job done on his own. He beats one man. Can he get the ball into the box? No one really there. Holds it up nicely. Kubik smashes it. Unfortunately, I think that hit the post and went wide. It deserved a better finish at the end of it. It was a lovely run by Mile holding up the play. But half-time here, 3-0 up. It's been pretty plain sailing. Not really looking like QRM are going to do anything in this second half. Just going to tell the boys I'm very happy. This is turning into just quite a relaxing cup final, I guess. I feel like with cup finals, usually you're sat on edge throughout. It's very rarely you get one where at half-time you just feel in so much control. And Bula picking up an injury is a real shame. We'll bring in Dougie Pote, as I mentioned. Probably going to be his last ever game for us, Dougie Pote. The Brazilian player we've brought in. He was one of our first signings for £50,000. He served us well. He's not developed as much as I'd like, and this year he's just really not played enough first-team football. He does occupy a foreign player spot. Oh my gosh, Blonde, what a finish that is. Half volley, rifles it in. Gautier, the youngster, with the assist. And Blonde, for me, has been our signing of the season. He joined us for £5 million, you may remember, back in January from Brøndby. And the Danishman has been great. I mean, look at it here. Half volley, bang. How do you like that? Finds the back of the net. He's just been a top performer for us. And he looks like he's going to be a top performer for us again today. He really does like to pull the strings in the midfield. And well, this is a little bit ruthless by us at this point. 4-0 up. We're not giving any sympathy to QRM. Chilwell whips the ball in. Keeper holds on to it this time. But it feels like it's just a barrage being fired at QRM's goal. And they don't really have an escape plan here. You know, they're just kind of here now to be attacked and attacked and attacked. And Kubik going to try and pile on the misery here. Beats his man down the left-hand side. Crosses it in. Mile's there. Hits the post and goes wide. The third time we've hit the woodwork. This result could have been, well, even more emphatic than it has been, to be honest. We've been pulling them apart, and we're doing it again. They're going to have a sending off now. And, well, I feel bad for them in a way. I feel guilty. Like, are we the bad guys in all of this? Like, if this was a real fixture, everyone would want the National Division team to win, and I feel like we've just kind of pooped on their party completely. I feel almost a little bit guilty. Anyway, let's bring in Fuchs for the remainder of the game. I think we'll make our last change as well, and we'll bring in Ali at centre-back just to stop Diarra getting sent off or doing anything silly. Good for the Romanian just to get a little bit of football as well, just, you know, to help his overall experience. But, well, I feel like at this point it's fairly convincing. It's nice to bring on Fuchs, who, of course, is a player who's been here since we first took over the club, has been a core component of the first team. And I feel like it's going to be great for a player like him to actually get to lift the trophy today, you know, having been at the club for the last 4 years. You know, there's quite a few players actually in this squad who have been here for a number of years. Perhaps not necessarily that many starters anymore, but you think about players who have been here really since Season 1. You look at the likes of Diarra, you look at players even like Ducasse who joined after Season 1, Pendant, of course, in the reserves. There's quite a few players, Prevost as well. Obviously, it's a little bit of a shame that there's players like Aqua, who was rarely featured this year, and even players like Jean Ruiz who have left. But this is for them. This is all for them. And there you go, Dougie Pote. If that is the last goal he ever scores for the club, I mean, he scored in a final. What more can you say? Lovely finish by the Brazilian. Mile with a superb assist. I mean, it was a difficult effort to miss, really. But lovely bit of build-up play. Kubik down this left-hand side. Little give and go to Mile. Has a shot. Intelligent play there to pull it back. Many players would have shot in that situation. But, well, Dougie Pote, he's there to score the goal. And as I said, if that's the last ever kind of goal he scores, at least it's a memorable one. Millet picks up an injury. Let's hope that these injuries we have been sustaining aren't too serious. I think we'll just play without a man on the right-hand side for the remainder of the game now. Both teams down to 10 men. It doesn't matter so much. We are going to win the French Cup here. It's been very, very convincing. 5-0 it finishes. QRM, they're going to feel a little hard done by, but we have won silverware. We get to watch the cutscene. For some reason, our players have decided they don't want to stand on the actual kind of the trophy stand. Yeah, we'll go with that. But who cares? 5-0 it finishes. Good little result for us. Very, very happy about that. Almada picked up man of the match. Blonde also on a 9.3. It was a really good team performance. And whilst we were expected to win it, we still had to go out there and do what 4 other teams didn't do against QRM over the course of this competition. And Bula out for 3 to 4 weeks, Millet out for 2 to 3 weeks, and not too serious or in injuries, particularly with the summer break. Obviously, great for us to win the French Cup. If I'm not mistaken, we can check, I guess. When was the last time we won it? You can see here it was in 2016-17. So 14 years on from the last time that Sochaux won the competition. We've won it again, and we've ended a spell of PSG dominance, which is, well, good to see. And hopefully we're going to be lifting this a few more times over the next few years. You can see QRM, back in 2011-12, actually finished runners-up. What did they do in 2011-12? What year? I mean, were they in the national division back then as well? Or did the clubs merge or something weird? They probably merged. But either way, maybe history did repeat itself, in which case, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's going to be all from us for this season, at least until the end of season live com. Fantastic play by Almada to get man of the match. Great result all year round. Good to see us actually, rewarded with a bit of silverware. Hopefully, going forward from this, we can win this competition some more and maybe look to even challenge for the title next season. This summer's going to be a big one for us. I'm desperately keen to hold on to a fair few of our players. We've got a little bit of money to spend in the transfer window. You can see £9 million, some wage budget as well. Good, just extra little bit of bonus news, I guess, is the fact that our youth facilities and training facilities are going to be improved again this year. That is going to take them very close, I believe, to state-of-the-art, which is the highest that they can be. You can see right now we've got superb training facilities and superb youth facilities, so continuing to improve that is always going to benefit us in terms of our overall player development. Our youth recruitment as well will naturally, have a little bit of a benefit from that. And well, hopefully we can just continue on as we are. I feel like we're in a really good situation as a club, 4 years in, and well, it's nice to kind of finally win a bit of meaningful silverware. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Hopefully you did enjoy today's episode as always. If you did, leave a like on today's video. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.